what it has done to my life. I'm a 25-year Marine Corps veteran. I got 3 combat tours. At the height of my career, I am, and I think I will always be, the youngest Marine to make E9 in 19 years in the Marine Corps. I weighed 210 pounds. I carried the weight. I used to be able to bench 315 pounds. I'm a 16-year all-Marine softball player. I'm a 10-year all-Armed Forces softball player. 6-year all-Marine soccer player. And 3-year all-Armed Forces soccer player. I played sports throughout the whole world. In China, in Russia, I played in Japan, in Korea. The Marine Corps was my life. In 1997, after 25 years, I went for my re-enlistment physical to re-enlist for my final 6 years to make my 30 years to get the great government paycheck of 75% of my base pay. Unbeknownst to me, when I went back for my evaluation, the medical doctor told me, I can't let you re-enlist. You have muscular dystrophy. That was a big impact on me in my life. And I didn't know what I was going to do, and I was medically retired in 1998 for 25 years in the Marine Corps. That's all I knew. Combat engineering, jumping out of airplanes, just living the life. Being able to run 3 miles in under 18 minutes. That was my life. I retired in Morehead City, North Carolina, out of the 2nd Marine Air Wing. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I knew I had a skill of construction. So I went to the small Lowe store in Morehead City, North Carolina. There was a store manager there named Andy Leggett. This guy put me on the track with my relationship with Lowe's. I told him, look, Andy, I have muscular dystrophy. I can't lift very many boxes and do the heavy stuff. But I have a construction background. Is there something I can do for Lowe's? And he goes, you know what, Marty? There is. We have a construction desk, and I need somebody to do material takeoffs for our contractors for lumber and stuff in the job. I jumped at the choice. I worked at that store for 2 months. Andy Leggett called North Wilkesboro Corporate Store, talked to Reggie Ball and Larry Stone. Reggie Ball got on the plane the next day, flew to Morehead City on one of the corporate jets, came in, interviewed me. The next day, I was working in North Wilkesboro as a construction manager for Lowe's. And that's where I had the opportunity to go to California and do the conversion of all the Eagle hardware stores that got us into the market on the West Coast. I was the very first project manager ever to step foot in the West Coast. And I worked with guys like R.S. Herb that did store setup and renovations. Bob Tillman was the CEO at the time, Mike Skinner was our driver, and we had Lowe's Motor Speedway. I worked with them for 8 years, and I just couldn't do it no more, to travel. Today, I weigh 146 pounds. I can barely lift 5 pounds with my arms. My myotonic dystrophy is in my arms at this point. I can still walk by the grace of God, so that is a plus for me. But we were Saturday at Jiffy Lube, and there was a little girl, and I want you to think about this. There's a little girl that was there, and I think she's the ambassador this year.
She is.
For muscular dystrophy. Her name is Jocelyn. You would never know this little girl has muscular dystrophy. But she's a very dynamic girl, and she doesn't let things bother you. But most of the muscular dystrophy is a genetic inherited gene. So I have 2 children. I'm from Covington, by the way, so in your neck of woods here. I have a son and a daughter. I have to worry about every day if they're going to be diagnosed. Not on top of that, but think about if they decide to have kids and the impact. we've got to fight this. And that's why I'm here today. Not just so much for me, but for my kids, for Jocelyn, for the kids of the future. Think about this, all of you. How many of y'all have kids? And I know a lot of you do. Think how much that would impact your life. Look, guys, I've had my bald head since 1974, when the Marine Corps decided to cut off all my golden locks from high school. I can't even shave my head. My wife has to shave my head for me because I can't get my arms up high enough. I have a great wife. She does great things for me. But think about it. Put yourself in your shoes if that happened to one of your family members and the impact that had. We've got to fight this. Lowe's has stepped to the plate, and we greatly appreciate that. Lowe's is part of my life. It's part of my history, and I'll never forget the opportunities that one store manager, he didn't have to, but he gave me the opportunity to work and do something with my life after the Marine Corps. And all we're asking is for you guys to step to the plate and help support these kids. That's the future of our nation. You know, we're doing great works with the medical. I can tell you with myotonic dystrophy, they have isolated the gene, but the problem is they don't know how to remove it. So there's got to be more work to be done there. But not just for me, but also for all the kids and for people that have healthy families that can just one day be devastated. And that's my story. And I'm really glad, Leo, for you let me come and share my stories, and hopefully it makes an impact on you. And think about your families, and think about those kids, think about the camps and the smiles that it puts on their faces. And you know, I told Laura that, you know, I'm going to go up to camp with my wife and may not be able to do much, but at least be there for them. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. Leo, and thank you very much again. Thank you for your hospitality. And it's good to be among those people. I always like going to the stores. It's a great, like I said, Lowe's holds a special place in my heart for that. And I thank you, and God bless you all.